Listen closely. You're stronger than you think. You always have been, but somewhere along the way you forgot. Maybe life knocked you down. Maybe you failed. Maybe someone told you that you weren't enough, and you believed them. But let me remind you of something. Every time you thought you wouldn't make it, you did. Every time you felt like giving up, you pushed through. Every time you said, I can't take any more, you somehow found a way. That's not luck. That's strength. The problem isn't that you're weak. The problem is that you've been measuring yourself by the moments you struggled instead of the moments you survived. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up no matter how many times you hit the ground. It's about standing tall even when your legs shake. It's about moving forward even when the weight of doubt and fear tries to hold you back. So stop underestimating yourself. Stop thinking that just because things are hard, you're not capable. Hard times don't mean you're weak. They mean you're being forged. They mean you're being tested. And if you refuse to break, you will come out of this sharper, stronger, and more unstoppable than ever. You don't need saving. You don't need permission. You don't need anyone to tell you what you're capable of. You just need to look at everything you've already overcome and realize you are strong. Stronger than the fear, stronger than the failure, stronger than whatever life throws at you next. So stand up, take the hit, keep moving. Because one day you'll look back and realize that the strength you were searching for. Every time life has knocked you down, every time you felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, it hasn't been a sign of weakness, it's been a sign of your resilience. Struggles don't exist to break you, they exist to reveal your strength. Every time you face hardship, you're being tested, not to see if you'll fail, but to see if you'll rise. When you look back at your life, you might see all the moments where you struggled, where it felt like you couldn't go on, where you thought the burden was too heavy to bear. But here's the reality, you're still here. You made it through every single one of those moments. You survived and you learned. And in that survival, in that very struggle, you proved your strength. Struggles are never wasted. They are the foundation of your growth. They are the fuel that propels you forward. They don't make you weaker, they make you stronger. They teach you things you would never learn in comfort. They show you the depths of your potential, even when you can't see it yourself. Think about it, what would you be without your struggles? What would you know about yourself if everything had been easy? Probably nothing. You would never have discovered your true limits, your capacity to endure, or your ability to adapt. You wouldn't know how powerful you are because you wouldn't have had to prove it to yourself. So, the next time you face a struggle, don't see it as a sign of failure or weakness. See it as an opportunity to discover just how much you're capable of. Because every struggle you face is a step toward revealing your inner strength. And the more you embrace the struggle, the stronger you become. You are stronger than your circumstances. Your struggles have proven that. They've shaped you into someone who knows how to fight, how to stand tall, and how to keep going when the world tells you to stop. And that, my friend, is the greatest strength of all. Failure is a part of life. It's inevitable. It's uncomfortable. But let me be clear, failure does not define you. It doesn't determine your worth, your ability, or your future. It is simply an event, a moment in time. It's not who you are unless you allow it to be. Think about it. Every person who has achieved greatness has experienced failure. It's not the failure that shapes their legacy, it's what they do with it. It's how they rise from it. Failure is not a mark of incompetence. It's a lesson, a tool, a stepping stone. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of failure, but the ability to keep going, to see each setback as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. So when you fail, it's not a reflection of your character or your potential. It's a reflection of the fact that you're trying, that you're pushing boundaries, and that you're daring to step outside your comfort zone. The people who never fail are the ones who never take risks. They never push themselves. They play it safe and never discover what they're truly capable of. But you're in the arena. You're willing to risk to fall and to rise again. And that makes you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges ahead. Failure doesn't defeat you. It teaches you how to succeed, how to adapt, how to become better. Don't let failure become the story you tell yourself. Don't let it define your future. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the sum of your determination, your resilience, and your ability to keep moving forward. So the next time you fail, remember it's not the end. It's just the beginning of your next chapter, the next step toward becoming who you were always meant to be. You are not defined by your failures, you are defined by how you respond to them. And if you keep going, you'll eventually look back and see that failure was just a lesson that led you to success. Fear has a way of convincing you that it's a brick wall, that it's something so solid and immovable that it should stop you dead in your tracks. But here's the thing about fear, it's not a stop sign. It's an obstacle. It's something to face, not something to avoid. Fear exists to test you. It shows up when you're on the verge of something great. It tries to make you second guess yourself, to pull you back into your comfort zone. But comfort is not where growth happens. Growth happens when you push past your fears, when you look at the obstacle in front of you and say, I'm going to go through you, not around you. Fear will always be there. It doesn't just vanish because you wish it would, but what you do with that fear is what defines you. Will you let it control your choices, or will you use it as fuel to keep moving forward? Fear is the feeling you get when you're about to do something outside of your comfort zone. That's when it strikes, when you're about to push yourself towards something bigger than what you've known. It's there because you're stepping into the unknown, and the unknown is where true transformation happens. The truth is, fear is a signal. It's not telling you to stop, it's telling you that you're on the brink of something important. The moment you face it head on, you'll realize that it's not as powerful as you once thought. Fear loses its grip when you refuse to back down. Remember, fear is just an obstacle, not a stop sign. It's not there to prevent you from moving forward. It's there to see if you're willing to push through. So, the next time fear shows up, don't turn away. Face it, conquer it, and keep moving toward the life you deserve. Because when you make fear your stepping stone, there's nothing you can't achieve. Pain is an inevitable part of life. It's a teacher, a reminder that we are alive and that we're pushing boundaries. Whether it's emotional, physical, or mental pain, it often feels unbearable in the moment. It might seem like it will never end, that it's all consuming and that nothing will ever feel good again. But here's the truth, pain is temporary. Every moment of suffering is a chapter in your story, not the entire book. It may feel endless when you're in the middle of it, but eventually it will fade. The aches will subside, the tears will dry, and the storm will pass. What will remain, however, is what that pain taught you. The lessons, the strength, the resilience, you'll carry that with you forever. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen in easy moments. It happens when you face pain head on, when you push through the hard times, when you refuse to let adversity break you. Pain forces you to evolve. It forces you to grow in ways you never would have imagined. The person you are today is not the person you were before you endured the hardship. You are stronger, wiser, and more capable because of it. Think about the hardest things you've ever been through. Do you remember the pain? Yes, but do you remember the person you became as a result? The strength you discovered, the determination you found deep within yourself. That is your growth. So when you're in the middle of pain, remember, it will not last forever. It might feel like it's never ending, but it's just temporary. The growth that comes from it, that's permanent. And when you look back on the pain you once thought would break you, you'll realize it built you. Belief is important. It's the spark that ignites your potential. The thought that says, yes, I can do this. But belief alone is not enough. You can believe all you want, but without action, belief is just a thought. It's a dream without a plan, a wish without a path to follow. True strength is not built on belief alone. It's built on the steps you take, the risks you take, the work you put in when no one is watching. It's easy to talk about what you can do, what you'll achieve, what you want to become. But the real test is in doing. It's in taking that first step, even when you're unsure, even when the road ahead is unclear, and even when fear tries to hold you back. Action transforms belief into reality. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Strength doesn't come from waiting. It doesn't come from hoping or wishing that things will change. It comes from doing something, anything, that moves you forward. Even small actions, when done consistently, compound over time into extraordinary results. Every effort, no matter how small it seems, adds up. Every challenge you face, every decision you make to push through, builds your strength. Think about the strongest people you know. Are they just believers or are they doers? They act even when they're scared. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the moment by taking action one step at a time, and that's why they're strong. Belief without action is just an idea. Strength with action is the result. It's the work that speaks louder than words. It's the sweat, the effort, and the determination that builds you into the person you're meant to be. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for all the answers. Take action now. Even if you don't feel 100% ready, even if you're unsure of the outcome, take that step. Strength is built in the doing, not just the believing. And when you look back, you'll realize that every action you took is what made you the strong, unstoppable force you are today. It's easy to look at the current challenges in your life and feel like you're overwhelmed, like this is the hardest thing you've ever faced. You wonder if you can handle it, but here's something powerful to remember. You've already survived worse. Take a moment and reflect. Think about all the obstacles you faced up until now. The times you thought you wouldn't make it, the moments you were convinced you couldn't go on. And yet here you are, still standing, still moving forward. Life has thrown its punches at you, and each time you've gotten back up. You've weathered storms that seemed impossible to overcome. And yet you did. You may not have been sure of how, but somehow you found the strength to keep going. And that strength has never left you. It's always been there, growing, evolving, and ready for whatever comes next. Whatever you're facing right now, I want you to remember that you faced challenges before that felt just as heavy, just as hard, and yet here you are, wiser and stronger because of them. If you've made it through that, you can make it through this. You've survived worse. And that's proof that you can survive anything. So don't let fear or doubt control you. Don't let the weight of today's struggles make you forget how far you've already come. Every hardship you faced has been a lesson, a moment of growth. And those lessons have prepared you for this. You are resilient, you are capable. You've already survived worse, and you'll come through this stronger than before. Keep going, you've got this.